Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this Santa pattern is a free applique pattern available at shinyhappyworld.com. So you can go there, click on where it says free patterns, and you will find all of the pieces and instructions that you need to put this guy together. But here's a video showing how to make him. Okay, I've got everything ready to layer all of the Santa pieces together. This is the video that is showing how to do it if you have a light box. There's a different video with a slightly different technique if you don't have a light box. But just to show you the setup here, I've got these 3 layers. I've got my light box. I've got it turned up as bright as it'll go. I've got the placement guide, and then I've got a silicone sheet over top of the whole thing. And now all the pieces are prepped. That means they're cut out on the solid lines. You can ignore the dotted lines on the back. Those are guides that you'll need to transfer to the front if you were not using a light box. With one exception, the only line you need to transfer is his little smiling mouth. And I just used a regular Sharpie fine point marker. I'm going to stitch over that with black stitching, so it doesn't matter that it's a permanent marker there. So now I am going to start with piece number 1. So the number of each piece tells you what piece is what, but it also tells you what order you need to lay them down in if you're using the light box. So we're going to start with piece number 1, his shoulders. Get that on there. Now we got piece number 2. Is his face. Now, this is weird because all of the edges of his face piece are covered up by other pieces. So what we're going to do is just lay it just kind of centered. You can see all of those lines, and you just want to make sure that all those lines around the edges are covered. Now we're going to put some eyes in. If you cannot see, it doesn't matter which eye is which, they are identical. But if you're trying to see the numbers and you're having trouble seeing them through a layer of fabric on the top, just push it down until it's actually making contact with the light box behind it, and that will help those numbers to show through. And I bumped his shoulders here. All right, now we are up to piece number 5, which is that big Santa beard. There we go. And now 6 is his mustache. We've got a couple of points that make that one really easy to line up. 7 is his nose. And I can point out something here too while we're doing this. I used the same fabric for his beard and for his mustache, but I changed it so that the lines were going a different direction. So the burlap print is kind of angled this way a little bit on the beard piece, but it's angled much more. It's almost a 45-degree angle on the mustache piece. And I will do that really, really often if I'm going to have 2 pieces with the same print right next to each other. So number 8 is his hat. And number 9 is the fur on his hat. And I used a different white for his hat accessories than I did from the beard. They're still very light gray on white prints, and they are all part of the salt and pepper collection. And number 10 is his pom-pom. All right, so I'm going to carefully lift up the silicone mat, take it to my ironing board, fuse all of this in place. Just follow the directions on whatever brand of fusible adhesive you're using. I use Heat and Bond Lightweight for all of my quilts. So fuse that in place right on top of the silicone mat. Give it a chance to let it cool, and then peel it up, and then you can fuse it down onto your block. So I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to do all of the outline stitching, and then I'll bring it back here and show you the finished block and also show you a different version I made with a different color combination. All right, here he is, all finished. I've done all of the outline stitching on him, and I also added some catch lights to his eyes to really bring them to life. The post has a link to another post that shows you several different ways that you can add those catch lights. My current favorite way is just a simple fabric paint. There's a link to this specific brand and everything that I like about it. So this is the shiny 3D fabric paint in white from Scribbles. But this is the one that I did in more muted colors. So it's still very bright and cheerful and Christmassy, but these colors have just a tiny bit of gray added to them. The background block is from the Farmer's Market palette. It's a collection of quilt blocks that already have these quilting lines printed on it. So you can get that. There will be a link to that in the pattern instructions if you go to the post. And the reds also come from the Farmer's Market collection. These are from the Strawberry Blenders collection. And you can find these various white on white prints in the Salt and Pepper Blenders collection. But I did another version in super, super bright colors, and I want to show you that too. So this is a version of Santa in completely unsaturated colors. So these versions of the colors have zero gray added to them. They are just as bright and clean and vibrant as I can make them. So this background block is from the Classic Rainbow collection. The Classic Rainbow are the ones that I've done that are completely saturated. So this is from the Classic Rainbow in medium. Also, these quilting lines are printed right on there. And the reds are also from the Classic Rainbow collection. These are from the Blenders, and they're just called Red Blenders. And there's links to all of that at shinyhappyworld.com. And all of these whites, just like the other one, are from the Salt and Pepper collection of all different black and white blenders. So two completely different color schemes for the same Santa block. Again, this is a free pattern at shinyhappyworld.com. There's a link to the free pattern in the description below this video. You can also just go to shinyhappyworld.com and click on free patterns and you'll find it there. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World. I'll see you next month. Bye.